Welcome, welcome, welcome. All the viewers, all the listeners in Australia, in India, welcome, welcome, welcome to Harita's conversation. On a very short notice, I announced today that love in the air. It's a Valentine's Day. And today we have a very special guest with us, Ali and Kim. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So, Kim, Happy New Year to you. You are celebrating Chinese New Year. So, all the viewers, all the listeners, on behalf of you, I'm wishing Kim a very happy and prosperous New Year.
Thank you, Harita.
Okay. So, Ali and Kim, your story is connecting India and Vietnam. It's so interesting to know that journey began from the era where internet was just the beginning. So there were lots of confusion, communication. The pen pal kind of thing happened with you, not in a pen pal thing, but without face pal thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would like to know about your interesting story, how from Gujarat you got connected with Vietnam and landed up in Australia.
Okay.
You can share.
Yeah. So it was 2003 when I think internet was it was around for a couple of years over there. I was studying my bachelor's degree, and we had the chat rooms in those days. So it was quite fascinating to go to a random chat room and click on a random person's ID, and they might be anywhere in the world, and you can talk to them. So I was young. I was probably a teenager at the time, and going to a chat room looking for girls' IDs and trying to chat with them. And that's how I think I found her ID and I talked to her. It was like the days of hi ASL, please. So we randomly met in the chat room like this. She was there to practice English, talking to foreigners and converse in English. I was just there really passing time at the time, and randomly talked with her. Happened actually 2 or 3 times when went into different chat room and then clicked on a ID, and then after talking a bit and then realized that we have talked before. Yes. And then came out Yahoo Messenger, so we added each other on Yahoo Messenger, stayed friends. After I finished my study, I came to Australia. When I finished my bachelor's, I came to Australia to study masters. We kept in touch, and I think we were getting close, like we were almost getting like a girlfriend boyfriend kind of a thing in a long distance relationship at the time. In 2006, end of 2006, I decided to go and visit her to Vietnam. And when I visited to Vietnam, met each other, we kind of knew that we were made for each other, and we just had to take it further. It wasn't a straightforward journey, but we are here. Yeah,
and we did it.
So Kim and Ali, any time during the journey when you were just far away from each other, internet was new, lots of confusion and communication was there, any point of time you felt, what am I doing?
I'll go first. So I did not feel like that at any point. My friends kind of questioned it sometimes, and some of my uni friends, they had basically warned me not to go to Vietnam because it could be a scam. There was a French guy, so but I just felt it correct in my heart, and I just followed my heart. So I just went ahead. So I never at any point felt any doubt. Later on, I was feeling it was getting a little more challenging and difficult, like how we would, dreaming is one thing, but making it a reality, it was a challenge. Yeah.
How about you, Kim?
For me, actually, when I met Ali on internet and we chatted, and then we used to write letters to each other. So we still had like long letters.
We have a box full of letters.
So many letters, and sometimes when we read again, we say, "Oh, on TV, right? So it's such a funny thing, but it's actually very sweet and cute. So at that time, my mom knew about it. She said, "Oh, it will not work because like someone from foreign country, I don't have a bed." And I was at that time I was very young. I was just started high school. And actually, I couldn't speak English very well either. So I could write, I could read. So that's why I chat on Yahoo Messenger. But then, like, if I remember first time when we have phone call, and then my heart beating so hard, and I heard his voice from Sweden, but couldn't understand what he was saying. So it was so funny.
You can still feel that excitement in your voice,
Yeah.
Kim. What was that on the first time?
Yeah.
We had hour-long phone
Yeah.
calls, and we could only understand like words really when we talked to each other.
Yeah.
So that is how we started. But then, yeah, slowly improved.
That's so good. So you spoke about that the slowly you started because there was excitement, there was a language barrier and everything. We'll talk about that. But before that, first, let's talk about when you broke the news with the parents. How that things worked out. Like culturally, there may be so many different things, so many different rituals, aspects related to marriage or expectation towards the marriage. I'm not sure about the Vietnamese culture, but in India, that's marriage is a big fat wedding. The girl should be perfectly slim trim kind of expectation, and the boy should be handsome kind of expectation. There must be so many things around that. If you can share a light on that.
Yeah, so for me, after going to Vietnam, I went to India. I told my parents. My mom obviously was accepting, like she was in tears, but she was okay. She worried how all the realities will work out. Like now it's okay, but when you get married, what kind of marriage you will have? If you have kids, how will you bring them up? What culture, what will you name them? Like all those questions were coming to her. My dad, on the other hand, he was shocked, and being the eldest brother in the family, he was probably thinking, how come my son is the black sheep in the family? So that was challenging. But later on, I think slowly with time, they accepted it. And after we got married in 2009, when she came to India for the first time, it was amazing to see how the response from my family was. Like we don't all live together, but we are still almost like a joint family. All my uncles, kaka, kaki, everyone, Faiji, and everyone is so close. And everyone, I did not know that they could speak, broken English even. Like we always talk in Gujarati. So when she was there, everyone was making an effort to make her comfortable talking to her in English or trying to talk in English. It was very good to see. The response, obviously, from the family and the support overall was very good in the end. But at the start, yeah, it was a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow for parents.
Yeah. But there may be the Kim, maybe when Ali came first time to Vietnam, your parents will be like, oh, some foreign boy is here. What was the cultural appropriateness about that?
So when he came, actually he didn't tell his parents, I didn't tell my parents. And then later after a week he was there, I took him to introduce my family. And my mom, my dad was shocked, but I think they kind of knew about it because like we say give and then letters and all that. So yeah, so they knew. And one thing I said, he put a lot of effort learning Vietnamese. So before he went to Vietnam, actually he attended the Vietnamese course, and he learned the chopstick. So he could speak a little bit of Vietnamese and make them very happy. And my mother, my grandmother, she loved him so much for some reason. She loved him so much, even though she couldn't understand what he's saying.
So I was just introduced initially as just a friend from overseas, like a pen friend kind of thing, and I think her mom and dad doubted it, but her grandmother, like straight away, my face like this, and then she told that nah, this is the correct boy, like this is, and like she already told that okay, now this boy I select. So
It reminds me it reminds me जब we met the thing where the Dara Singh is saying in जब we met बूढ़ों की नजर को पता होता है कि क्या खिचड़ी पक रही है.
Yes. But she accepted that khichdi, so that was good. She was always very supportive, and she is still like she keeps me very well when I go. So because of COVID, recently we haven't gone, but yeah. So hoping next year, hopefully.
Yeah, when the border opens and the things get better. Okay, so the question is, in all the culture and all the custom, there are certain wedding proposal or the wedding customs and everything. And when I saw your photo for the first time, I could realize you are like Amitabh Bachchan and Jaya Bachchan, pair kind of thing, height-wise in the real life. So, how did that cultural thing work? What was the marriage custom happen? Where did your marriage happen? How did you come across or decided, okay, I want to get married like Vietnamese custom, Indian custom, or none of them, or let's come between two agreements, some here, some there. How did the whole thing work out?
Well, we could not decide, so we did all of it. I think.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Yeah, I got married to the same person for a few times.
Yeah, so we had like an engagement and wedding ceremony. Oh, here comes a guest.
Yeah, that's Leo.
That's our boy. So we got engaged in Vietnam, and it was also a combined wedding ceremony. Then we came to Australia. We did a registered marriage here in the Department of Births, Deaths and Marriages. Then my parents were here, and their wish was that we also get married according to our customs. So we are Vohra or Boris. So we have a mosque here. So we got married in there according to the customs. So she even got a Vohra name and everything. And then after that, the following year, we went to India and we did some ceremony there. We did reception and all of it. So yes, we had, so I always have this that, I got married 3 times, but to the same girl. So
Kim, tell us about something about the Vietnamese wedding customs. How this thing happened? How does the rituals happen?
So the Vietnamese wedding actually it takes only half a day compared to in the wedding like it can be like 2 weeks. That's how that's long. And I from what I found, I like the Indo culture is very deep but quite conservative. So even the bride and groom, they dressing up and all that, but they actually just make all the people feel happy. So if the guests happy, it means the wedding is nice and all that. So that is very different from Vietnamese culture. The Vietnamese culture is for the bride and the groom. So yeah.
So it happens like we have a processor where the groom come with the band baja barat to the grooms. Does the same thing happen there?
So the groom family will come to the bride's family with it's not kind of gift, but it's the culture that they have to bring the cake and all the things, and then the bride and the groom will exchange the drink. Yeah. And then normally in the evening we will have the wedding reception.
Okay. So do you have the traditions like, you go to temple and do some rituals by the priest or something, or it's just grooms and they agree, they take a vow to be husband and wife. That's it.
No, we don't go any kind of like temple or anything like that. Yeah, it's just like between two family. Yeah.
Okay.
The girl's family, the guy's family, and friends, and invite some very close relative.
Okay. That's so good to know. And I think Ali was also saying that it's very important to take the blessings of the ancestors in Vietnamese culture, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That is a little similar to how we have ancestors, yes, but we normally offer in the Hindu culture, we offer food to God, like fruits,
Yeah.
and we do agarbatti or incense. It's a similar thing there. So they have like an ancestor thing. They offer fruits, they do agarbattis and everything. So that similarity I found. I think their thing comes from Buddhism.
Okay.
What I understand.
So I would also like to ask you, when we talk about the offering of food and language that connects people. Kim, my question to you, how do you like the Indian food? And if I ask you specifically about the Gujarati food?
Initially it took me for a while to get used to it because the Vietnamese food is quite plain in the sense that we use all the fresh ingredients and fresh herbs, whereas the Indian food is more flavor, like lot of spice, garam masala. So I have problem with eating Indian food. When we first got married, used to have stomach ache, and I thought, what we so did love that because of like. And then found out actually because I changed my diet. And then I think over the time my spice level also increased. Well, I can eat more spicy food now. So at home we have more Indian food than Vietnamese food. Yeah, and I quite like it. So whenever I cook most of like Gujarati food.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good. How difficult was for you to learn the Gujarati cooking?
So, well, I got back. So when I first came here, I actually didn't know about cooking. I learned from him. He just taught me about the spice, and I watch a lot of One Chef. I think everyone knows about it. That chef, very popular on YouTube. And then just I like trying different things in food creative, so to try the different spice and I look at the recipe and just mix up everything. For example, even make bao bhaji, I don't just follow the tradition wood potato, tomato, capsicum, green peas, all that. So whatever I can find a fridge, like broccoli, zucchini, I just put it in.
That's very good too.
She's very experimental like that, yeah, because she's not bound by the traditions in the way that we mix things together in food. We this and this can't go together, that and that can't go. That she has no such background, so she just
Go with the flow.
go with the
She has already mentioned that she cooks more Indian food, so I'm not asking you. But I just remember the Three Idiots dialogue. Like, you Gujaratis are so sweet, but why your food is so dangerous? Thepla, dokla, hania. Like, it sounds like a missile. Okay.
Yes. Undiyu.
Any funny thing happened around the language communication gap or food communication gap? You wanted to say something, but because of the culture, language differences, it was perceived as a different thing?
I think Ali, when Ali tried to learn Vietnamese, his pronunciation is like not very clear. So in Vietnamese word and some word if we cannot pronounce properly, it can have different meaning. I could be very bad. So sometimes something is what are you talking about?
So how long it take Ali for you to learn Vietnamese?
I haven't fully learned it yet. I tried.
Still, it's a conversation.
More, I can understand more, speak less, but my tones are not correct. It's a tonal language, so the same word you can speak in different tones, and it has different meaning. So that is where it gets tricky, because we come from a single tone language background. All our Indian languages are single tone. English is single tone. Any European language is all single tone. So it is difficult. I did a 6-month course before I went to Vietnam.
I'm touching this because I want to learn how to do the
Sorry.
Kim, can you give any example of that word changes the meaning if you change the tone?
Yeah, so for example, like you say cá is mean mark, and then cá sushi, but it is the mark on the top, like French word, this can mean fish. And then cá is mean tomato. So yeah, so it has marks on the top of the verb. Yeah, so it gives different meaning.
Accents,
yeah, the accent.
That's so good to know. That's so interesting to know. Okay, in that way, touch wood, we don't have that difficult language. But during the course of time, you might have come across very funny, very emotional, memorable incidences due to different upbringing. If you can share something.
I think initially I have to learn like with in Indian it offers like shark and not the head. It could mean yes or no. So when my parents-in-law first they came for the, and they asked, "Would you like a cup of tea?" And then they shook their head. I was like, "What? Is it you want now? Okay, I'm not making it." But actually, yes.
Like chapi so like yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that was difficult. For her, the other thing she noticed is the burping when she first went to India and Gujarat and Jamnagar. she noticed that a lot of people are doing burping, especially in weddings and all that. And she thought like, oh, isn't that rude, like loud burps? And I said, no, it's okay. It means they ate well. So that is something I remember that her noticing. And
anything happened in Vietnam, Ali?
Vietnam. Yeah, so
I can remember. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's always this language thing. So I say something and then, people laugh. And then I'm kind of a little phased on, or did I say it in the wrong tone, or it means something else, or what happened there. But overall, I think the traditions and all that, it feels pretty tame compared to, because what we have is like a marathon and what they have is like a little tiny sprint. So of customs, traditions, and how long the process goes on for. Yeah.
I remember one of the thing, if you can share that thing, there's something happened, you need to say two of your friends don't come to the wedding. What was that incident?
Oh yeah. So there is something to do with numbers. So there needs to be a certain numbers, or apparently kind of an auspicious thing, an auspicious number. So certain number of guests only. And her parents had already figured out all the numbers already. So I had called a couple of my friends there. They were Australian expats over there that I met, and they were going to help us with our application, writing a letter that, these are a genuine couple. So I had invited them, and then I told her that, okay, these guys will also come. And then found out that, that disturbs the numbering. And the guests that her family has invited, we can't tell them no. So I had to tell my friends no. So, which was okay. It was awkward, but yeah, I told them that it's okay. You don't come. Later on, we'll meet outside for dinner or something. So yeah. So that was a little strange for me. I mean, look, we also have numbers and all that, and auspicious day and whatnot. So kind of understandable. But I wasn't aware, like knowing that they did not have much customs or tradition. This kind of came out of nowhere. So yeah, that was a bit of a different
I can imagine the situation would be very funny. You say, come to my wedding, and they say, no, you can't come to my wedding now.
Yeah, that was awkward. Yeah, I have to say.
Okay. So Liam, when it comes to, how do you make the decision when it comes to anything about, you have two different customs, you have two different mindset, you have two different religion, or you have two different aspects of life? How do you come to agreement? Do you follow turn by turn, like, okay, this time is Indian, this time is Vietnamese, or you come in between, or you just take the third option, like no Indian, no Vietnamese, something new?
Third option.
Oh, that's so good, Liam.
I think a lot of things he's right. So a lot of things, like, because we are living here, we have opted for no Indian, no Vietnamese. We'll go according to how we do things here. But where possible, we also kind of keep to include both the traditions as well, the Indian and the Vietnamese, where possible. Where not possible, we adjust. So it depends on what it is and what it is not. And sometimes we have a good discussion as well. Like when we wanted to name him, she did not want my first name to become his middle name like it normally becomes, because he was already getting my surname, and she said, oh, that is enough. I said, okay, not arguing. So So that is, we work it out. Like over the years,
Yeah.
we have managed to work it out.
It's Valentine's Day and we are about to end the conversation. What message would you like to give on this special, special day?
Yes, we have a message. We'd like to translate.
Yeah, so many years ago on Valentine's Day, I wrote this note for her. It is Vietnamese.
Yeah.
It's written like that. So it translates to the recipe of love. 500 grams of passion, 300 grams of love. Add as much kisses and hugs as you want, swad anusar. And the dish is only to be privately tasted by the two people when no one is around. So I guess that's a romantic message for many years ago. But in all honesty, I would like to encourage, like, if someone is in love and it is outside your religion, outside your state, outside your country, even like we are, follow your heart, stay strong. It is not an easy path. It might look very attractive, but it is a difficult path. If you stay strong and you are ready to adjust, you have to adjust a lot, both of you. And if you truly love each other, I think love in the end always wins. So that is what we have experienced, and that is what we would like to share.
That's so good. Thanks. Kim, you can add anything if he's missing anything. And how was the first reaction when you got that message?
Oh, it's very sweet. So just follow your heart and fight for it. You get it at the end.
That's so good to know. Thank you so very much for your time. I think everybody in the air, love is in the air. They will celebrate. You too celebrate a special thing. You have a double celebration on New Year and the Valentine's Day. All the best and see you next time.
Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.